My initial feelings and expectations of high ropes was that it was going to be difficult. Like, I'm climbing in trees. Come on, it's not going to be easy. But I felt quite excited as I've done things like Go 8 before, and I love doing that. But I was also nervous in case I didn't like it for any reason. The high ropes location was quite nice. It was very well, taken care of and looked after. And one of the key moments I had during the activity was everyone encouraging me to keep going, as when I got to the top, I sort of froze, and I found it quite challenging to stand up and then leap for the bar that we were aiming for. What surprised me most about high ropes was that how wobbly the piece of wood was during the first activity, as it sort of represented a tree, so the higher we got the more it wobbled, and I really did not like that. I think one of the most positive aspects I found when we did the high ropes was that when people were struggling, we kept on encouraging each other. I definitely noticed a physical benefit that I was able to overcome my unknown fear of heights and having more confidence when high up. Doing the high ropes definitely helped my confidence with heights, and I found that the social benefits of it were quite good, as just having those around you to help encourage you and cheer you on definitely helped a lot with pushing through the fear. I think the most beneficial moment that stood out at my high rope session was finally jumping from the top during the first activity, as after this I definitely found I had a lot more confidence when manoeuvring about the trees in the second activity. I believe a unique benefit that high ropes had is that it built your confidence around heights, and your ability to climb and just manoeuvre about quite nimbly. Before the session, I had minimal knowledge of high ropes, as like I mentioned, I've done things like Go 8 before, but that doesn't really bring you much knowledge in the topic. A specific technique I had to improve on was definitely overcoming my fears and pushing my limits, but I believe I did that quite well. Personally, I thought it was quite challenging to apply this, as I did just get a massive mental block that didn't want me to overcome my fear or push my limits, but surrounded by the correct people, I managed to do it. This particular skill is important for safe and successful high ropes, as it just being able to push your limits ensures that you're not going to be stuck anywhere that you shouldn't, which ensures the safety of you, but also the others that were harnessed down at the bottom that were helping you. Apart from the obvious physical aspects, I think a skill that I definitely used and learned was concentration, as if you didn't concentrate, then you could potentially mess up the climbing technique and slip and fall, which could potentially endanger you, as the people keeping you stable at the bottom could not expect this and not be able to catch you in time. Concentration when doing the high ropes, as I was concentrated on making sure that my feet were placed correctly and that my hands were placed correctly, and that I was looking around my surroundings, making sure I knew where I was going to place my hands and feet next. This newly developed skill will be able to help me with my college work, because if I concentrate and get it done, it means I could potentially have non-compulsories. As well as this, it will help me later in life when I work, as the more I concentrate, the more work I'll get done, which will then ultimately benefit the business I'm working for. One challenge I found I had to adapt for was definitely my fear of heights, which I never knew I had before I did high ropes, but I managed to adapt it and overcome that challenge of the fear, and I managed to absolutely boss the high ropes. I found that the instructor definitely helped me when I was in this challenge, as she just kept giving me words of motivation, which then fueled me to be able to complete the activity. Looking back on my first time at high ropes, I think the most valuable thing that I gained from this experience was definitely the team that I had around me, as everyone, not just with me, but everyone was just encouraging everyone to keep going and push to their best. I would probably not. I might recommend high ropes to a friend. It depends if it's doing Go Ape or like how we did it with college. Because with college, I probably wouldn't do that again, because I did find it quite scary. But if I were to recommend something like Go Ape to a friend, I would definitely do that. Experience has definitely changed my perspective on how I deal with heights, as, like I've mentioned, I thought I wasn't scared of heights until I did the first activity where it more or less reenacted a tree and how it would sway in the wind. So I would say my heights was definitely changed. I would say I'm not interested in continuing high ropes or anything else, any other like outdoor activities that include climbing, as like I said, it really scared me and I just don't think I can go through that scariness again.